I'm going to say our mantra. This is the voice I want to use over and over again, but with different inflections. And I want you to try to mimic what I'm doing. This is the voice I want to use. This is the voice I want to use. Now, what we're going to do is press down on our tongue and just sort of watch what's happening in the back of our mouths. Ready?
Any suicidal tendency?
No.
Have you ever felt as though you were being followed?
No.
Any history of family mental illness?
No.
Medical procedures to date?
The usual electrolysis, 3 years of hormone therapy, facial feminization surgery, brow lift, forehead reduction, jaw recontouring, and a tracheal shave.
You look very authentic.
I try to blend in, keep a low profile. I believe the slang terminology is living stealth.
Do you consider yourself a happy person?
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, I will be.
Miss Osborne, there's no such thing as a right answer in this office.
Yes. I'm a very happy person.
How can I help you if you won't be honest with me?
You can sign that consent form, please.
The American Psychiatric Association categorizes gender dysphoria as a very serious mental disorder.
After my operation, not even a gynecologist will be able to detect anything out of the ordinary about my body. I will be a woman. Don't you find it odd that plastic surgery can cure a mental disorder?
How do you feel about your penis?
It disgusts me. I don't even like looking at it.
What about friends?
They don't like it either.
No, I mean, do you have the support of friends?
I'm very close to my therapist.
What about your family?
My family is dead. You take some hormones and I'll take some hormones. I'll be a woman before you make me happy. When's God shit? I mean, darn it. Darn it. Good night, Bray. Sleep tight, Bray.
Maldito cabaret donde pasé los años de mi vida. Allí me enamoré, no sé cómo y por qué, de una perdida. La que me hizo sufrir, la que me hizo llorar, día tras día.
This is the voice. Hi. This is the voice. This is the voice. Hello, may I please speak to Mr. or Mrs. Bhumibol Nirapatinasani? Mrs. Neera Patanasanai, this is Bree Osborne calling with a special introductory offer from the National Home Shopping. Hello? Hello? Stanley Shupak doesn't live here anymore. Who's calling? Stanley doesn't have a son. You must have the wrong number. How old are you? Why don't you call your mother? Hello. May I please speak to Mr. Jamal Nyang? Mr. Nyang, it's Bree Osborne calling from the National Home Shopping Club with a special introductory rate of only $19.90. Hello. He signed it.
I am so proud of you. 2 signatures. I hereby pronounce you officially legal to undergo sexual reassignment surgery.
Thank you. I just... Thank you.
So, what else is new?
I made my sales quota for the month on Tuesday. That pink lambswool cardigan that I ordered arrived. Oh, and this is odd. I got a phone call last night from a juvenile inmate of the New York prison system. He claimed to be Stanley's son.
No third person.
My son.
I thought you told me that you were a virgin.
There was this one girl at college, but the whole thing was so tragically lesbian that I didn't think it counted.
Wow. A son.
An alleged son. He's probably just some sort of scam artist.
What is he scamming you for?
Well, I guess we'll never know. Nothing is gonna stop me from checking into that hospital next week. I'm not gonna get dragged back into Stanley's old life.
Stanley's life is your life. Why didn't you get in touch with the mother?
She's dead. Anyway, he's practically 18. He's old enough to take care of himself.
Bree, this is a part of your body that cannot be discarded. I don't want you to go through this metamorphosis only to find out you're still incomplete.
What if I visit him later, after my surgery, after I've settled into my new life?
When you're ready.
What are you doing?
I can't give this to your surgeon right now.
Yes, you can. Margaret, I can't miss my surgery on Friday. They're booked up a year in advance. I'll wire bail money to New York. I'll call a social worker and have someone check in on him. What do you want me to do?
Bree, honey, I just want you to be ready.
Hello. May I please have the number of the New York City downtown lockup?
Mr. Shupak.
Ms. Shupak. I mean, Ms. Osborne. I changed it.
Can I ask what your relationship is to the prisoner?
Allegedly, I'm his. Allegedly, he's my son.
This is a new one. According to this, he shoplifted a frog. Plus, we have testimony that he was in possession of a small amount of a suspicious-looking white powder, although emergency services was unable to recover the evidence.
Drugs? Is he an addict?
Most of them are.
Most of whom are.
Are you aware that your son's been hustling on the streets working as a prostitute?
How much is the bail?
Bail set at $1.
I can't possibly afford $1.
Sabrina Claire Osborne. Me, Toby Wilkins.
My friends call me Bree.
Jesus the Reformer?
That's one of these churches that sends missionaries out to guide street people back to God.
No. I'm from the Church of the Potential Father. Oh, yes. Dear God, bless this food and bless this restaurant and all the people in it and everyone else. Everywhere. Sic transit gloria mundi in excelsis Deo. Amen.
Do you have any perks? Vicodin, anything with codeine?
Sorry, I'm all out. So why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not naming any names.
I said about yourself. Is Toby short for something? Diminutive?
No, it's American.
Where do you come from?
Calicoon.
Where's Calicoon?
In Kentucky. Duh.
Is that where your family is?
My mother's dead. She had a stroke.
Is there anyone else?
I had a stepfather.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Me and him don't get along.
Why not?
TMI. Too much information.
What about grandparents? Aunts?
I
Uncles?
don't need any family. I can take care of myself. I'm a loner.
That's wonderful. That's the spirit.
I've been meaning to thank you for bailing me out.
You're welcome.
I decided in jail I'm gonna give up hustling. It's degradable.
Degrading. How many people inhabit this place?
3. Dude, by the way, I was just holding those drugs for a friend. I'm not stupid. Junkies just live for the day. No ambition or anything.
You have ambition?
Yeah. Gonna get a career in the movies.
$10, $20, $40. $60, $80, $100. Here. Will that hold you for a while?
Yeah. Dude, this is great.
Wish you would stop calling me dude. Well, I best be on my way. Got a flight to Los Angeles first thing in the morning.
Maybe I'll see you out there. That's where they make the movies, right? Just gonna hitchhike out there like maybe, I don't know, tomorrow.
You can't. You don't want to add Jumping Gale to your permanent record.
I'll change my street name. Something like Stanley. Stan. Stan the man. It's my dad's name. There's this picture. He's with my mom. You okay?
I'm a little dizzy.
Beverly Hills is close to the ocean, right? Maybe I'll learn how to surf, dye my hair blonde for movies. They love blondes there. I mean, blonde and blonde, stocks and blondes, bodacious blonde bottoms. Not that I'm a bottom or anything.
Are you talking about pornographic films?
Duh.
Is there a ladies' room in this establishment? Oh.
Hello.
Margaret. It's Bree. I'm in New York. It turns out this whole jail episode was just a big mistake.
Talk to me.
He's a thoroughly independent young man. We're getting along famously. He's going to come visit me after my surgery, and I promised to take him to Disneyland.
I see.
So I thought I'd take an early flight back tomorrow. Get back to work, recoup some of the money I spent on this trip before my surgery next week. How are you?
Right now, I'm a little disappointed because you're lying to me. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
There appears to be a stepfather. Perhaps I can effect a reunion. Have you ever heard of a place called Callicoon? I just conferred with my immediate superior at the church. It seems she feels that getting you away from this unwholesome environment is my moral duty.
Free ride, free food, free motel rooms, all the way to LA.
Uh-huh. Nothing's free. You're gonna end up marrying her and spending the rest of your life eating out cobwebby old stank Christian pussy. Hey, something for the road, my man? The finest Tecate?
Fuck no, man, I'm giving that shit up.
Come on, it's only $5 a bag over street price. Convenience charge. We can take it out of your cut if she buys the car.
Fuck you, dude.
All right. Whatever. You're the man.
No. Wait. Hey. Yeah. I'm not marrying you.
Glory, hallelujah.
Almost new fan belt. I changed the oil a couple of months ago. Only 230,000 miles. It just needs a little paint, that's all. It runs perfect. Guaranteed.
I've already arranged a rental.
But with this one, when you get to California, you could resell and make a profit.
A profit? Fasten your seatbelt.
I don't like wearing them.
Well, I don't like the idea of seeing your internal organs splattered all over the dashboard in case we get in a wreck, God forbid, so put it on.
See this shirt? Only cost me $2.
Quelle surprise.
These shoes? $3, $1.50 each. You know how much these things are worth in Japan?
$3?
Like $500. Japanese people will kill for old Nikes.
Then you probably should avoid wearing them in Japan.
Yeah, I'd probably be like disemboweled by a ninja.
You don't have to say like. Probably disemboweled by a ninja is sufficient. And please don't put your feet up on the dashboard. No smoking in the car. I thought instead of going west on Route 95, we'd wind through the mountains on Route 20. Route 20 takes us close to Callicoon.
I don't want to go there.
What I find absolutely beyond comprehension is how a person can perform all those intimate acts with just any stranger off the street.
Why should you give a shit?
Because it's the Christian thing to do. How much money did you make per assignation?
$40 or $50? Are we gonna be going through Texas?
It's a pretty hard state to avoid.
Do you have any money for some food?
I'm sorry I can't offer you a private room. The church has to conserve its resources. I've charted us a course on the nice little red roads. Callicoon is only about 45 minutes out of our way.
I don't want to go there. Those are nice beds.
Don't you have any pajamas?
No.
Well, you should get some. Good night. Oh. Rise and shine. Up, up, up. We've got a schedule to keep. Did I put on too much blush?
Weird. First place I lived is like hole in the wall off Avenue C. I had like 4 roommates. One was a junkie, one was a crackhead, one was like a junkie, and the other one was, well, like a junkie.
Like.
Did you know the Lord of the Rings is gay?
I beg your pardon?
There's this big black tower, right? And it points right at this huge burning vagina thing, and it's like the symbol of ultimate evil. And then Sam and Frodo who have to go into this cave and deposit their magic ring into this hot, steaming lava pit. Only at the last minute, Frodo can't perform, so Gollum bites off his finger. Gay.
Take him away, Lord. Take away these chains from me. My heart is broken 'cause my spirit's not free. Lord, take away these chains from me. Some birds' feathers are too bright to be caged. I know I'm not that colorful, but a bird just the same. Open up your gate now, let me put down my load, so I can feel at ease and go back to my home. Take him away, Lord. Take away these chains from me. My heart is
You
broken
looking at?
'cause my spirit's not
I just didn't think it was right to come so close to Callicoon without at least passing through. Toby!
Where are you going? You are acting like a spoiled child.
Oh my God, I can't believe my eyes. It's my sweet little angel baby.
Take away, Lord. Take away these chains from me. My heart is broken 'cause my spirit's not free. Lord, take away.
Give me another hug. Oh, I could wring your neck like a chicken. My favorite boy. And all this time, not even a phone call to let me know if you're alive or dead.
I was never your favorite.
Oh, that's what you think. I used to look at him out that window, playing all day with that big dog.
Toby live near here?
Just 2 doors up the road. So, what you been doing with yourself? I want to know everything.
He's been in New York, working toward developing a career in the film industry.
I'm going to California.
California? Yeah, he always was the artistic type. He used to have this precious stuffed monkey he carried around with him everywhere, even to school. Are you in the movie business too?
She's a missionary with the church.
Praise the Lord. I'm an electrologist myself.
Oh.
If you want, I can get those couple of little hairs up under your nose for you and nothing flat. My boss laid down the salon. She used to work out in California. From what I hear, some of them Hollywood beauties used to be hairy as hogs. Yeah, that ought to keep them from sticking their heads up again.
Thank you.
You ought to go on over and say hello to your stepdaddy.
I don't want to see him.
Of course you do. The man raised you, clothed you, fed you, sheltered you from harm. He's your father. For all practical purposes.
He always was a sensitive thing. You gonna gonna drive him all the way to California.
I have to get some air. Excuse me, and thank you.
Yeah?
Good evening. Do you perchance know a Toby Wilkins?
Who's asking?
I am a bearer of glad tidings. Your son has come home.
Good.
Toby Arletty, I brought back a surprise. Come on in.
Look who's here.
If you can't bring Muhammad to the mountain, bring the mountain to Muhammad.
Wow, look how much you've grown.
Toby, give your father a hug.
I was worried sick about you. Why'd you run off like that? You know I missed you.
Isn't this sweet?
I know what you missed. You missed my mouth. You missed my ass.
Oh, you hush now. What are these ladies gonna think?
Oh, fuck me right here in front of them.
You shut up! Bobby!
Was that good for you? Come on, Bobby. You liked it. You liked it in the garage.
Shut up!
Oh, come on.
Toby? Honey?
Heavy was sitting. Let's put him in that chair there. Oh. Oh, no, you Bobby Jensen. Come to in a couple of hours.
This isn't my fault. You never told me why you didn't want to come home. Where are you going?
Brought you some breakfast. He's walking down to the highway ramp to hitchhike himself a ride. He's a disappearing act, all right. It's the same thing he did after his mama killed herself.
She what?
Mm-hmm. Shut herself up in the garage with the car on. Toby found her there when he come home from school.
Oh, God. Lovely scenery in this part of the country.
Said I'd take a ride from you. I never said I'd carry on a fucking conversation.
I was just trying to do you a favor. God knows, considering the way you've been living your life, it wasn't unreasonable to try to put you under some sort of parental supervision. What's that? Is that drugs? Oh, no. Absolutely not.
God damn it!
No, that is not all right. You can't do that here. No!
Are you gonna let me do my thing, or do I have to get out of this fucking car right now? Huh?
Go ahead. Kill yourself. What does it matter to me?
One chocolate milkshake for you, and a coffee for your mother.
She's
I'm not his mother.
I'm waiting patiently. There's a new moon over my shoulder, and an old love still in my heart.
I didn't sleep a wink last night. Let's look for a motel.
We're camping out.
Do you have something a trifle less butch? Fettuccine Alfredo or chicken cordon bleu?
Chicken.
Matches.
Fuck.
Excuse me. I have to go to the ladies' room. Do you think there are snakes around here?
Get away, snake.
Get away, you snake.
Get away, snake.
Where did you get that?
I had it.
What is that awful sound?
It's a loon.
Certain Native American tribes of the northern plains believed loons were ancestral spirits trying to communicate with the physical world.
My real dad's part Indian.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, he never told me, but I just know. It's an Indian thing.
Do you think you could find it in your heart to offer a sip of that to a lady?
You sick or something?
I'm fine. These are vitamins. When I was a little girl, I had a terry cloth bunny. I used to sleep with her every night. Try holding your breath. Then one day, my parents decided I was too old for her, and I never saw her again. I found him in your stepfather's garage. Oh. Here. Rise and shine. Come on. Let's go. I've got to be in LA by the end of the week. What would you say if I told you I could set you up with a job in the telemarketing field? The nice thing about telemarketing is you can live practically any place. I could drop you off in Austin.
I'm going to California. My real dad has a mansion there with a pool.
What do you see your life Like 10 years from now.
Probably get a job at a pet store, have a dog, maybe some kids.
Kids.
I always wanted kids.
Perhaps you ought to aim for something a little higher than working in a pet store. If you like animals, you could become a veterinarian or a zoologist.
I'm out of cigarettes.
Quel dommage.
What does quel dommage mean?
Means you're not getting any cigarettes.
Are you a boy or a girl?
Turn around, stop bothering people.
Margaret, thank God. I am in the middle of Arkansas, and an 8-year-old child just read me. I can't handle this. I had to camp out last night on the ground with bugs. Because he is impossible. I can't fritter away my savings like this. My surgery is only 5 days away. Dallas, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, why? Hold on. Toby. Toby. Would you mind introducing me to your new friend?
Taylor.
Yeah, this is Taylor.
It's nice to meet you, Taylor.
What's going on here? Come on. Your mother's waiting for you in the car. You better watch out he doesn't get some poor innocent girl in trouble.
You better watch out she doesn't end up ruining some poor innocent boy's life. You, go wait for me at the table. Margaret, I really don't think I am cut out to be a mother. Dear God, bless this meal. And please help Toby to find the strength not to take any more drugs so that when we get to LA, he can get a job and find a nice apartment. So that even if he never finds his real father, he can lead an independent life. Amen.
Amen. There's a really cool hat back there. It's only $10. I just think my nose is getting sunburned.
Eat your vegetables. You might want to use a fork. Just an idea. I tell you what, you can have that hat on one condition. No more drugs. I mean it. Deal?
Deal. Got your present.
Thank you. I'm very touched.
Put it on. It looks good.
I find Jesus in the darkest night.
You get back in here! Do you have any idea how dangerous that is? In!
Hey! Whose hearts are sang.
Get in!
Who's holding on? You want to give me a heart attack?
Did I scare you?
we going to Dallas?
An associate of mine has arranged a place for us to stay for the night. This Mary Ellen woman's being very generous to offer us her hospitality, so I hope you will be on your best behavior.
I'm always on my best behavior.
Sabrina and Toby, right? I'm Mary Ellen. Come on in. I'm having a little get-together, but you two just come on in and make yourselves at home.
Mary Ellen, come here. Felicia's showing us her new vagina.
I'm sorry. They're feeling a little fasty. Everybody, this is Sabrina, and her handsome escort here is Toby.
Hi.
How y'all?
Margaret said you were stealth.
I am in public, but this is the privacy of my own home. Welcome to the first meeting of the Gender Pride President's Day Weekend Caribbean Cruise Planning Committee.
We have to go.
No.
Where do you guys know each other from?
We don't. She's a friend of a friend of a friend.
There's rum punch in the kitchen and guacamole in the dining room.
Come on in.
Yeah, don't be so uptight. It's a party.
Margaret told me you were planning to have your surgery soon.
Toby doesn't know about me.
You're stealth to him.
Little sugar dumpling.
Don't worry, honey. We've all been there. I'll pass the word.
It was one of those instant best friend things.
But at the time we were both straight men. What could you do with that?
We had our surgery on the same day.
We ended up holding hands in the recovery.
And now this gorgeous creature is the love of my life. Oh, we were just telling your friend a little bit about the transsexual lifestyle.
Not what you're used to in church, huh?
These are vaginal dilators. She just had her surgery last month.
This is Kiana 2, but this is Kiana 3.
Where's Kiana 1?
Kiana 1 is in Hollywood filming a major science fiction epic, and we don't want to hear a snarky remark about it.
We're not gender challenged, we're gender gifted. I've been woman and I've been man, and I know more things than you single-sex people can even imagine.
Dude, I thought you were a real guy.
We walk among you.
Well, that poor thing couldn't pass on a dark night at 200 yards. In the pink?
You better check your T-Dar, honey. She's a GG.
What?
A genuine girl from Mary Kay. If you let her do a color trial, she'll give you a free compact. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play
with each other,
where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not.
Sorry.
Could you hand me my robe, please? The pink satin. It's by the... Thank you. It's an unfortunate side effect of my pills. They're diuretic.
Gross.
A diuretic. It means you go number 1, not number 2. Listen, I'm sorry about those airsats women.
What?
Airsats, it means phony. Something pretending to be something it's not.
I thought they were nice. Zoologists are the guys that work in the zoos, right?
Yes, among other places.
I never met my real dad. My mom never talked about him. I'm gonna go live with him, though. As soon as I get enough money, I can get some nice clothes and knock on his door, surprise him. Do your mom and dad live in California, too?
My parents are dead.
Do you like zoos?
I don't mind the modern ones, I guess. The animals may not be free, but they're safe.
Yeah. Me too. Night.
Good night.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
What'd you study?
A lot of things. French, cultural anthropology, archaeology, psychology, art history.
Possum. Biology.
80 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period, these plains were the floor of a huge inland sea.
Are we there yet?
Well, if you don't want to learn anything, then never mind.
All right, I'm listening.
It cut the entire continent in two. Dinosaurs lived on either side. Then, a huge meteor struck the Earth. Some people say that's why the dinosaurs went extinct, but why should the insects, birds, and mammals have survived?
Why?
I don't know, but it's always seemed a little bit fishy to me. Did you know they found giant shark remains in the middle of Kansas?
How big were they?
Big enough to swallow you without even chewing. Hum.
Got you.
You did not.
I got you.
Oh, you got me in the eye. You got me in the eye.
Did I hurt you?
Got you.
Ow!
Stop it.
Ow!
Seriously, watch the road.
You drive. I hope we pass a rest stop soon. My diuretic's kicking in. The rattlesnakes come out at night. Well, I must say that's a relief. Something wrong? This is a no-smoking room. New Mexico is the ufology capital of the world. Ufology from UFO, the study of unidentified flying objects. You know, social ostracism doesn't work in a community of two. Damn it, Toby, say something.
Want to go to Sammy's wigwam?
Here's some arrowheads. They're only $1 each. He's been acting like that all day. Young man, if you don't start behaving in a civilized fashion, you and I are going to have a very serious problem.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you watch your mouth around your mother.
She is not my mother. She's not anyone's mother. She's not even a real woman. She's got a dick. Don't you? Don't you? Go on, tell him! You're a fucking lying freak. What do you want out of me?
Just because a person doesn't go around blabbing her entire biological history to everyone she meets doesn't make her a liar.
Why didn't you just tell me the truth?
So you could humiliate me in public even sooner.
You knew all about me. Why did you bail me out of jail? What, you just walked into jail, asked them who needed help? You know what? Fuck you. I never even heard of a tranny church lady. Just drop me off in the next town.
So you don't think I have the right to belong to a church? My body may be a work in progress, but there is nothing wrong with my soul. Jesus made me this way for a reason, so I could suffer and be reborn the way he was.
So you're cutting your dick off for Jesus?
You don't cut it off. Just gonna have an innie instead of an outie.
Ew.
Hi, is there any chance that you could offer a fellow traveler a ride?
Absolutely. We love helping strangers. Beef jerky?
No thanks, I'm a level 4 vegan. I don't eat anything that casts a shadow, but a little token of my appreciation.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, but the secondary smoke might render me unfit to drive.
She's cool, right?
She's not a she, she's got a dick.
Toby!
For now, at least.
You're a guy?
I'm a transsexual woman.
Wow. I think transsexuality is a radically evolved state of being.
Hey, look!
Many societies throughout history have honored and revered transgendered people. The Zulu, the Yoruba, the Native Americans called us two-spirit people.
Two spirits. It's cool.
Tell them what they're gonna do with your dick.
Then the settlers came. They tended to murder us on sight.
The way the white man treated the Indian was very deeply fucked up.
Yeah.
Are you sure you won't join us?
Come on. You know what you got?
You boys go ahead. Have fun. So what do you do when you're not following the open road?
I'm a peyote shaman.
How do you do that?
It involves consuming majestic amounts of peyote. And when you're done throwing up, you see things.
What things?
Once, I saw my own death.
Do you by any chance drown in a desert lake?
No, I die in a depressurization accident on a moon colony. I'll show you something. It's in my bag.
Do you still think what you said back at Sammy's wigwam?
What?
That I'm a freak?
You're not a freak. You're just a liar. Oh, shit!
My purse! My hormones are dirty, motherfucker! Hit me!
My dog book was in that car.
Oh.
God, oh God, oh God. My surgery. I have to be in LA in 2 days. What are we going to do? Is it soothing?
Could sell it.
How much could you get?
Come on, let's go.
Soy infeliz porque sé que no me quieres, para qué más insistir. Vive feliz viviendo. Si el amor que tú me diste para siempre.
Oh, 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 oh.
Having a tough day?
I don't care about the car. I just need to get to Los Angeles as quickly as possible.
Well, I'm driving a couple of good ponies over to the sale in Sholo in the morning. Could give you a ride that far. Hey, Woodrow, can I get a burger for the young lady here?
Yep.
Isn't Calvin an unusual name for a Native American?
Well, not really. My brother's names are Dwight, Lloyd, Darrell, and Woodrow.
What's your last name?
Many Goats. It's my mother's clan name.
Oh, matrilineal kinship system. Is there a Mrs. Manygoats?
Oh, no, not yet. I guess the right woman hasn't met me.
Oh, there you are. Calvin, I'd like you to meet Toby. Toby, this is Calvin Manygoats.
How you doing, son?
I saved you half a hamburger. Calvin's offered us a place to stay tonight and a ride in the morning. Isn't that generous of him?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, just a minute. You already found a buyer? Well, at least now you don't have any more of that damn drug. Shower. So, Calvin, have you spent all your life in New Mexico?
Not yet.
Oh. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's home.
Hi.
Mezcal.
Oh.
A friend of mine brings it up from Oaxaca every year.
Mm.
Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, list while I woo thee with soft melody. Gone are the cares of life's busy throng. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me.
You can sing.
Oh, just enough to keep the dogs off the back porch, that's all. Much more.
Thank you. Mm.
I'll put hair on your chest.
I hope not. Morning, sleepyhead. Guess what? Calvin's gonna drive us all the way to Phoenix. Do my breasts seem smaller to you? I've missed 2 doses of my pills. You play with the body's hormonal balance and you're playing with fire. Playing with fire. Playing with fire.
When you wear your cowboy hat, if you wear it forward like that, that means you're looking for trouble. If you wear it back like that, it means you're not looking for trouble. If you wear it off to the side, that means you're out to impress the ladies.
How come an Indian wears a cowboy hat?
Well, I guess because it keeps the sun out of my eyes better than a headband and a couple eagle feathers.
Calvin was telling me that his people are Navajo.
No, only part Navajo. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was Zuni. Look at that Cherokee look about you. Proud people in Cherokee. Too young.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Here, drink some water. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I have to use the powder room.
Oh.
Oh.
Here.
Thank you.
Allow me.
Thank you. Oh.
Dude, there's things about her she's not telling you.
Well, every woman has a right to a little mystery, dude.
You know she's a Jesus freak? She's probably waiting to convert you.
She can convert me anytime she wants to. Well, I wish I could drive you all the way to Los Angeles.
So do I.
Here, let me get that for you.
It's all right.
No, it doesn't work for me. So.
Sticks a bit.
Thank you.
Bree, there's some things about me that you don't know, some things about my past.
We all have our secrets.
I've been in jail more than once. I'm about blind in one eye, and I got a half a pound of shrapnel in my left leg. But if you're ever in New Mexico, I'd really like it if you give me a call.
Thank you, Calvin. I'll do that.
Let's go.
Come here. This used to belong to a real good friend of mine. He was a champion in the all-Indian rodeo circuit. Now he looked like a warrior. Ma'am?
Where are we?
My parents' house.
I thought you said your parents were dead.
Wishful thinking.
Who's Sydney?
My baby sister.
May I help you?
Is Sydney here?
Sydney's out. May I tell her who called?
I don't think so.
Don't look at me that way.
Not looking at you.
All right, all right. Shit. I mean, darn. No, I mean shit.
May I help you, young lady?
Dad, it's me.
Mom! Dad!
Mom!
Get in here before the neighbors see you.
Jesus Christ, I can't even recognize you.
It's me. Only different.
So you've done it. It's all over.
I don't think that's any of your business.
Mom! Oh, thank God, Murray. He's still a boy.
Jeez, why do you always upset her like that?
I tell you what, I'm just gonna get something to eat and drink, and then I'll go back and wait for Sydney outside.
Are you sure you're all right, Stanley?
Fabulous. Never been better.
Stanley.
Bree. Sabrina Claire Osborne.
Look, we're gonna need more time with that. Your mother and I both love you,
But we don't respect you. I'll never understand why you're doing this to me.
I'm not doing anything to you. I'm gender dysphoric. It's a genetic condition.
Don't try to blame your father and me for this. You shouldn't use so much mayonnaise. Are you trying to give yourself a heart attack? Let me do that. You know what I see when I look at you? I see a lost soul crying out for help. This would never have happened if you had only come to church when you were little, instead of going off to that synagogue of your father's.
Mom? Dad? There's this sort of scruffy-looking kid outside. Holy shit.
Language, Sydney.
I don't fucking believe it. Stanley.
Bree.
Bree. Well, Bree, I was hoping you'd show up one of these days, take some of the heat off me.
It's nice to see you, too.
If that kid out there's your boyfriend, I'm gonna slit my wrists.
I need to talk to you in private.
Oh my God, he is! You lucky son of a... I mean, you lucky bitch.
Your boyfriend? That filthy teenage juvenile delinquent who came to the door?
He happens to be a clean, healthy, and respectable young man.
I don't want to hear any more about it. How old is he?
17.
Oh, my God, Murray, he's underage.
Mom, he's my son.
You're shitting me.
Remember Emma Wilkins?
Well, what are you saying?
Is Emma here too?
She killed herself.
Jesus. Kiana Horror.
Are you trying to tell me that that boy who came to the door...
He's your grandson.
My grandson. My grandson. Oh, dear God.
He doesn't know anything, and I don't want him to. Wait.
Call me Grandpa.
Oh, you poor thing. Get up off that filthy ground. Get up. There could be all sorts of awful things down there. Oh, look at you. What a handsome boy. Do you know who I am? I'm yours.
Please, Mother. He doesn't know about me. Do you understand? And I don't want him to know about me. Agree with me? You're not going to say anything?
Hi there. I'm Sydney.
Hey, Toby.
What do you say?
Toby, come on inside where there's nice air conditioning. Come on, honey, and I'll make you a nice plate of food.
Defrosted to perfection.
Finish your vegetables.
He doesn't like broccoli.
Open up. Lucky, no! I swear that dog is a sex maniac. Just like your father.
At least he gets more action than I do.
My mom used to live in Phoenix before I was born.
Really? What a coincidence.
What'd your name used to be when you were a guy?
Honey, why don't you go and watch TV in the spare bedroom?
You can take the dog.
Come here, boy. Stanley, what are you planning to do with that poor boy?
Well, first of all, I'm going to make sure he knows that he's encouraged and supported. And that he's respected. Maybe even, well, at least that he's respected.
Behold the return of the prodigal son.
Can we try to be nice to each other, please?
This is so bizarre. I can still see Stanley in you, but it's like you put yourself through a strainer and got rid of all the boy pulp. Planning a game of bridge with the girls.
Can I borrow $1,000?
You've got to be kidding.
500? 250?
Do I hear $1.50? I have to account for every penny. 18 months sober and they're still scared shitless I'm gonna relapse and wind up passed out on the floor in some dive down on Van Buren. God, those were the days.
My surgery's day after tomorrow. I need airfare to get home.
You know, growing up, I always thought you were the lucky one. Try this one.
Oh my God.
And then it'll be like a showgirl's ice capades.
I'm a transsexual, not a transvestite.
Yeah, but it will really freak Mom out.
Now you've lost all credibility.
Toby, don't break that, honey. It's very expensive. Murray, I just hate the way you had Lucky's tail clipped. Stands straight up like that, just like a penis.
Black and hairy.
Well, it does.
Not like any penis I've ever seen.
Me neither.
Toby. Toby, come over here and let me fix your hair. Come on. Come on, honey. Stay. Sit. Oh, you have such nice, thick hair. Just like mine. And those clothes are a great improvement.
They fit good, huh?
They fit well. Grammar police.
Good evening.
That dress looks perfectly ridiculous.
You're looking very handsome.
You look good, too.
Beauty is relative. For God's sake, Mom. Oh, don't pick on me. Not tonight. I can't take it.
Plenty of pornography on the toilet, and ever since, I have shitty sex. You get it?
Toby, come and sit here next to me. Here, take a picture. Murray, scoot over. Come on, honey, right here. That's right, Toby, honey. Lean in close, honey. Lean in. All right, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
We all look much happier than we really are.
Can you take one of the two of us?
I'll take it.
Nice to see a young man being so polite to his mother. It's not his mother.
And a hamburger for the young gentleman. Enjoy your meal.
Toby, do you want to say grace? Go ahead, honey. Don't be shy.
God bless this restaurant and these thy gifts that we are about to receive forever and ever.
And thank you, Lord, for bringing Toby to us. And please let us all stay together in health and spirits. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Shalom, Yisrael.
Oh, Toby, honey, don't take the lettuce out of your hamburger. It's good for you.
Sydney, don't play with your food.
Sieg Heil. Can I borrow $1,000?
Toby, your hamburger's almost raw. Let me send that back.
I can pay it back with interest.
What do you need the money for?
To get back to Los Angeles.
Look at your life. You've never been able to stick to a decision. I mean, 10 years of college and not a single degree. How do you know you won't change your mind about this, too?
Because I know.
Don't do this awful thing to yourself, please. I miss my son.
Mom, you never had a son.
How can you say such a thing?
Now you know how I felt when you hired those private detectives.
We only tried to do the best for you.
Is that why you tried to have me committed?
You tried to kill yourself!
Because you tried to have me committed.
I don't know why you have to be so emotional.
I am not emotional! God, my cycle's all out of whack.
You don't have cycles!
Hormones are hormones. Yours and mine just happen to come in little purple pills.
Young man, may we get some doggy bags here, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to finish cooking his hamburger at home. Murray, give me your wallet. His $200 will get the rest out of the safe. There's one condition. I want Toby to stay here with me. Wouldn't you like that, honey? You could have your own little apartment. We'll remodel the guest house. Do you like to play tennis? We have 8 new courts at the country club. Murray and I just feel that you need a stable, loving family with the means to give you every chance that you deserve.
Toby, here you are, baby.
Half Italian villa, half country club.
Beauty is relative.
Not my relatives. I wish just once they'd look at me and see me. That's all. Just really seeing me.
Why are they being so nice to me? You think I ought to stay here?
Do you want to?
It's pretty nice.
I think you ought to do whatever you think is best for you. But if you want, you can come and live with me. I can't give you anything like this, but I'm sure we could manage something.
Did you really try to kill yourself?
I swallowed half a bottle of Nebutol. Then I panicked and called 911.
Maybe you're not the suicidal type.
Maybe. Unless my mother is right, and I just can't stick to a decision. Come in. Can't you sleep?
Not really.
Do you need something? A glass of milk?
No.
What is it? I must look awful.
You look good. You look well.
Don't worry. What are you doing?
What I'm good at.
No, no.
It's okay. I want to. You like it, I promise.
I don't want to like it. I don't want it at all.
Okay. I'll marry you if you want. I don't care how big your place is. I just want to be with you. I think you're sexy, Bree. It's like I see you.
Oh, God. Put your clothes on. I mean it right now. Stop it.
What's the matter?
Would you please just cover yourself up? I'm such a total shit.
No, you're not.
There's something I should have told you a long time ago. You're going to hate me. I'm not really exactly affiliated with the church.
I already figured that out. What? My mom and dad.
It's your mom and me. Toby. I'm so sorry. I know I shouldn't have lied to you. I know how disappointed you must be. A one-bedroom apartment instead of a mansion. Half Jewish instead of half Indian. Toby. Toby. Why don't we look on the bright side? We've gotten to know each other. Our strengths and weaknesses. And we're still good friends, aren't we? I'm so sorry. I truly, really, I didn't mean to hurt you. My mother's probably right. I'm a terrible influence. Oh, please. This is a terrible time for me. I should... Toby, wait! Oh!
You are not my father.
Oh, my God.
Oh, honey. There, no, there. There, he didn't mean it, honey. He's just a little bit upset. There, no. There. Oh.
Toby's gone.
He took my purse and my bucking bronco statue. What do you want to do, Steph?
Bree.
He's 17, but you don't know his date of birth? What's your relationship to the missing boy?
I am his father. Can't you put out an APB or something?
We'll do our best. I'm sorry to say this, but chances are if he doesn't want to be found, he's gonna stay lost.
It's okay, you don't have to be afraid. There's nothing to worry about, 'cause we got it made. It's just a simple matter of letting me into your love. If you let that feeling come over you, then there's nothing more that you can do. Just let it go. Let it go.
Hey.
If it's love you want, hold out your arms. It's all right here, it's safe and warm. It's okay to feel good.
Everything is fine. The surgery was a complete success.
Be. Everything we have is fresh and new. I will open myself up to you like a rose, like a rose.
Hello, my lady. How are you feeling? And don't say like a new woman.
I feel like a medieval heretic impaled on a very large and very thick stake with splinters.
Nice hat.
As a present.
Bree, why do I get the feeling that there's something not quite right? Last week you said this was going to be the happiest day of your life.
Last week was a long time ago.
Talk to me.
I fucked up. It hurts.
Oh, my sweetie. Oh. That's what hearts do.
I'm sorry.
Oh, let it out. This is good. This is good.
Noche de paz, noche de amor. Todo duerme entre los astros que
Amo la comida mexicana.
Amo la comida mexicana.
Y amo a Fernando.
Amo la comida mexicana. Mexicana.
School's gonna be closing in about 15 minutes.
Wayne, this is really hard. Do you think you could give me a hand?
Sure, what subject?
Sex education.
All right, cut. Lucky needs help again. Let's go, let's go. Did you take your Viagra?
Yes, ma'am.
When's the last time you came?
Like 2 hours ago?
Christ, kid, you've got to focus, okay? Can you focus? We're behind schedule. We've got to move. Ow.
Don't think that I'm fucking forgiving you, because I'm not.
All right.
I just came over to see if you did it.
Did what?
Got your dick turned inside out.
Yes. Won't you come in? Just for a little while. I have something for you,
What?
please.
Your parents' house is a lot nicer.
My parents' house comes with my parents.
I thought you said we were Jewish.
Half Jewish. Through my father, so it's technically the wrong half, and you're only quarter. The wrong quarter. I'm gonna finish up my degree. I thought I'd take up teaching. Maybe rent a house someplace. Someplace with a yard.
What have you got for me?
Hang on a minute. I've missed you. Have a seat. So how have you been?
I've been all right.
Would you care to divulge a few more details?
Making a movie.
You are.
Told you I could. They're already doing the advertisements for it here.
Cowabunghole.
That's Dylan Reeves. He's a big star.
Ah. And there's you. It's a very nice picture. I like your hair.
If you want, I could get you a discount when it comes out.
Thank you, that's very considerate.
I got these clothes at the Beverly Center, Beverly Hills.
Would you like a Coke?
Take a beer.
All right. Young man, if you think you can put your dirty tennis shoes on my brand new coffee table, you're gonna have to think again.
We can make a world traveling, I'm just traveling through. Ooh, I'm just traveling, traveling, traveling. I'm just traveling through.